Welcome to the Golden Nuggets.
Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Look no further. This podcast episode is proudly brought to you by Reka Studio, where creativity meets strategy. Reka Studio is your ultimate partner for branding, marketing, and website solutions. Whether you're a startup looking to establish your brand or a business and expand your marketing reach, Reka Studio got you covered. We create so you don't have to. Don't miss out on the opportunity to supercharge your brand success. Contact Reka Studio today at 889-88746. Back to the episode. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Golden Nuggets podcast. This is part 2 with Affan. And I think earlier we were talking a lot about migration. We totally skipped the usual house life. How was your childhood? Maybe let's get into that. But if you want to hear about life in New Zealand, right? Yeah,
Yes,
New
correct.
Zealand. Then okay, go and listen to part 1. Okay, I mean, take it away.
Alright, so Affan, before you left for New Zealand, you were a real estate agent.
Yes.
And what were you doing even before that?
Before real estate, I was a SCDF regular.
Oh, you're a regular.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I was in SCDF for about 7 years. Before going into real estate.
I see. And I mean, regular usually, if you were to be staying for 7 years, most likely you have a degree and all, lah, kan?
I did not finish mine.
Oh, okay. And what do you study previously?
Previously, diploma or degree?
Diploma.
Diploma I was doing marketing.
Oh, marketing. Okay, so maybe that definitely will help your real estate career along the way, lah, kan?
That's a funny story, lah.
Well, what's the story there? What's the story?
Alhamdulillah, my real estate business has grown quite. A large majority of it was purely from referral basis. Yeah, so I believe in word of mouth.
Okay.
And I believe that rezeki is everywhere lah. It's in abundance.
Yeah.
So as long as you do right by every family, it won't end lah. Yeah. So people recommend their friends, their family, and all that, and it has served me well lah in that aspect. Yeah. So it was somewhat a personal challenge for me also, that I wanted to grow my real estate business without doing social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any particular... Sorry, I'm doing marketing, so I'm like wondering, like, any particular reason why you didn't want to use social media?
Not really. I think it's more of like a personal challenge kind of thing.
I see. Okay.
So and it helped. And I think it was somewhat inspired by a financial planner which I mentored under. The fella has no social media presence at all, but it's a lifetime MDRT, which means the fella has hit MDRT like 10 times.
Oh, okay.
In 10 years, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so fella is really well established and all that. Yeah, so and I realized too that it helps. Social media definitely help. I mean, eventually I started it also at the repeated request of my then ERA director lah. He said, "Oh, Affan, you have to do this. You have to do it." Okay, fine, I'll do it. Yeah, so yeah, it did help lah. If anything, I see social media is, or at least for real estate agents, and my approach to it is that it's a resume of sorts. Yeah, of the work that you do. Yeah. Yeah. So the why don't do social media is just that it's a personal challenge to grow a business that way.
Comparing what you study in terms of marketing back when you were in school and also when you were applying it in real estate, was there any difference, or did the school teach you more or less?
School teaches theory. This is the same thing over and over again. School teaches the theory behind it, and then it's up to you how to interpret it and then apply it to real life.
What kind of theory does school teach in terms of marketing?
You have your 4 Ps, your 7 Ps, your place, price, promotion. I can barely remember the rest. But
Price, place, promotion.
you have your
And,
SWOT analysis. You have your all these kind
Business
of things.
model canvas.
So you can use these models, but I've always felt that as much as you learn from school, from people, from mentors, you need to learn how to think on your own.
Yes.
And how to mold concepts to what applies to your situation best. Yeah, because every person is unique. This is what I share with my associates as well. I say, look, we can learn from everyone. Everyone can learn from the same mentor, but only a few succeed. Why? Because these few are able to mold the concepts and apply what works for them. So what doesn't work, you can always put it aside. Keep it in mind, just put it aside. What's important is that you try it first. Yeah. So like for me, when my associates first came in, they were like, "Fun, how do you do it? Like, how do you keep getting cases and not have any social media presence?" Then I explained to them my methods. But I also told them that, look, do not discount other methods. Social media, door knocking, throwing flyers, doing whatever other marketing channels are. Basically, don't discount it before you try it. Yeah.
Okay.
So give it a go. If it works, run with it. Run with it. If it doesn't, at least you've tried. Yeah. So yeah, that's my angle to it.
Okay. And then what do you study after? In your degree.
Degree, I was doing banking and finance.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like a huge difference.
Yeah.
You were studying
From
banking and
marketing
finance. And I'm sure that was during your regular days, right?
Yes, that was.
Okay. Any reason why you do banking and finance while you were SCDF regular?
Because I was very intrigued by Islamic banking and finance. So it was an up and coming industry of sorts.
Yeah.
I thought it was up and coming back then lah. Islamic banking and all. So I wanted
It is
to
still. It is still.
Yeah.
It is
like the
still-
word takaful and so on become like a trend word.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So when I was in, I think I was in NS, I think. I signed up with HSBC Insurance, I think. Yeah. So they had this takaful program, but eventually it flopped. I might be wrong, yeah, but I'm pulling this narrative off the top of my mind. Yeah, but when I spoke to them, amazingly, what I found was that some of the planners, they were saying that the take-up rate were by non-Muslims.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I was thinking like, why so and that kind of thing. Yeah. So I was questioning like the Muslim population's mentality when it comes to investments, insurance, financial literacy, that kind of thing. Yeah. So I wanted to learn conventional banking and finance first. So hence the degree. Yeah. Then after that, the plan was to move towards most probably a master's in Islamic finance or something along those lines. Yeah. So that was it lah. That was what.
That was the plan lah.
Yeah. But it's true, like what you said, like most of the plan when it comes to Sharia compliant plans, right? Investment, right? They're usually taken up by non-Muslims.
Yeah.
Even today.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's only growing number of non-Muslim taking up Islamic finance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they understand the sustainability in terms of Islamic finance.
Yeah.
And one other reason that I got was that they mentioned something along the lines where it's clean. You
Yes.
don't have to worry.
Yeah. The ethics behind it.
Yeah, the ethics
So
behind
their investments can grow and they can have peace of mind knowing their money is not being dealt with alcohol, drugs, weapons, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, so from marketing to business and finance, and then suddenly you decide to do real estate. Why not like the most closest thing like financial advisor?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mentioned prior that I was shadowing. I took a financial planner. I don't think he's practicing anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but under this financial planner, I thought he was brilliant. Yeah, because he was able to amalgamate everything, like every aspect of someone's personal finance. So we're talking about property, renovation loans, cars, and then your financial protection that of course comes with it. Yeah. So while shadowing him and learning all these different aspects, so he was basically a one-stop shop for his clients. So he has like high net worth clients. He has everyday hardworking families, HDB clients. So from observing everything that he does, right, the initial thought was also I should follow the financial planner's route. Until I gave it some thought, I was thinking, look, the biggest liability in anyone's life, right, is a mortgage. We need to handle that first. And technically, I'm not sure whether I'm interpreting the MAS rules right, but I think financial planners are not supposed to advise on property
Correct.
investments and that kind of thing. Yeah. So of course, my mentor at that time, he had his partners and all that, so it was relegated to the right specialist. Yeah, but he has a very firm grasp of like the property market, where it's going, what you should be doing with your profile, your particular portfolio, and that kind of thing. Yeah, so I thought that no, I think my sense of purpose has always come from helping families, helping steer people to the right direction. So that's why my career in SCDF and that kind of thing. So even before SCDF, during my poly days, I was running a tuition center. Yeah, I at one point also I was doing an asset liquidation business, basically handling bankruptcy cases. Yeah, not the DRS thing. It was another thing altogether. Yeah, so I find a sense of purpose, fulfillment, I guess, from helping elevating all these families. Yeah, so that's why property lah. Yeah, instead of financial planning, because financial planning, I realized that hey, if you cannot advise people on your biggest liability, what are you planning? No, I'm not throwing shit at my financial planner friends, but but that's my stand lah, my personal stand. So I feel that look, I can help the families with the biggest liability first, or if it turns into the biggest asset, then okay, alhamdulillah. Yeah, but for most people, your property, your residential property is a liability. Yeah, so don't call it an asset. Recognize it as a liability, treat it as such. If it's an asset, then of course you treat it as such. But for most of us, it's a liability. Yeah, then manage it well. Yeah, then after that, seek the right protections. Yeah, so that portion, I'll give them an introduction to financial protection. Then after that, I refer them to my financial planner friends.
I see. Okay, so it's more of you were doing what makes you feel most purposeful or most fulfilled,
most fulfilled,
and that was the reason why you chose real estate. I think just now, so you were not throwing shade at the financial planners. It's more of what Affan is saying is financial planners is really limited by the what do you call it, restrictions by MAS given to them in terms of advice that they can give and they cannot give. So this is something that like, because Affan has this knowledge and he knows that in order for him to explain about more things, being a financial advisor will restrict him more because of the MAS regulations lah. Right? Yeah.
If I'm wrong, someone please correct me.
DM him.
All right. Okay. So how do you how do I put this? How long were you doing real estate before you moved to New Zealand or Australia? Sorry.
I started real estate in 2019. Yeah, so that's 3 years.
About 3 years.
Yeah, about 3 years.
Okay. And how do you eventually grow your business within these 3 years to a point where people can see that Affan have been successful in terms of growing his real estate business, and now he can be living comfortably in Australia?
There's a underlying presumption that that I somewhat don't identify with. That your typical definition of a successful real estate business is that you have grown a team that is so large that's feeding you, overriding commissions and that kind of thing. I don't. Yeah, so okay. I'm a very contrarian kind of person. Yeah, so my views will always I will always question the views of the majority. Yeah, so instead of like growing a team as big as I can, which my previous real estate mentor advised me to do, say, hey, Affan, people trust you, people like know you can do this and they can emulate you and that kind of thing. But I feel that that choosing the right people to me is more important. Yeah, so that's why I'm very, very selective of who comes on board my team. Okay. Yeah, I need to know. I have a saying, like when I talk to the more elderly clients, I always tell them, because when they make comparisons like, oh, this fellow can do this fellow can do that, and I tell them like, look, my guiding principle is simple. In Malay, niat berniaga, tentukan cara. Yeah. So what is your intentions? Is your intentions just to make a quick com? Is your intentions really to put the family's interest forward? Yeah. So that's why I will take my time, sit down. I've had plenty of mentors or more senior people who tell me that, Affan, why are you sitting with your clients like 3-4 hours? You can do
1 hour.
Yeah, you can do 1 hour. Then after that, move on to the next client and all that. I said, sorry, I just can't. Yeah, I need to know that they are set for the right direction. Yeah, that every element of their lives are factored into what their needs really are. Sometimes it's a process of discovery also, even for them. Yeah, so for my clients, when they sit down with me, they really reassess what their needs are, and then where do we stand. We know where we want to go. Okay, but question is, where are we now? Yeah, so can we get to that direction with the provisions that we have now?
Yeah.
So sometimes you might need a higher income, or sometimes you might need to reduce a certain loan, that kind of thing. So it's a very holistic approach. That's why I can't do 1 hour consult. Yeah, so mine is like a proper 2-3 hour. Sit down, let's run through everything. Yeah, make sure you can do this right.
Okay, when you say holistic approach, right? Are people actually really open to be sharing with you about their entire, maybe their finances?
Yeah, financial situation.
Financial situation. Are they really open to it?
So far,
Yeah, I mean, based on what you go through, lah.
so far, alhamdulillah, yes. I think this is the perks of warm leads, I guess. Yeah, of things being on a referral basis. Right? So when people refer my services, I guess also, I know some of my closest friends who say, you sit down with Affan, you tell him everything. Yeah.
So they kind of like help you build the trust already.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so that's why, like cold leads, I do have cold leads as well. So I sit down, then after that I tell them, look, this is how I do things, right? So if and there's a market for every level of service. If you want something very transactional, right? You say, no, I have all the plans set ready. I just need you to sell my house, right? If I have suspicions that this fellow is doing something wayward, I will not take up the case.
I see.
Yeah. So I will tell them, like, look, number one, I do not know your situation well. I have my reservations. Okay. Number two is, if you want to be transactional, there's a cheaper way to do this. There's other agents who can do it for cheaper. Yeah. So please go ahead with them, lah. Yeah. But if you're sitting down with me, you're planning for life.
I see.
Yeah. So so far, all my clients have been able to sit down, disclose everything. Yeah. So things can get touchy. Sometimes the husband and wife have different investment plans. Yeah. So then I will tell them, like, look, it's okay. You sit down, we find a common ground, we work on the common ground first. Your separate investment plans, you can talk separately. Yeah. So there's that. Then there's times when you uncover unwanted things, like the husband has been has secret debts. Yeah, things which he didn't tell the wife, like, oh, this one don't need to tell my wife. I said, okay. So we will try and manage the situation such that we can address that debt. And the idea is that the whole family gets into a better position.
Okay.
Yeah. So if the wife needs to know, at some point I will tell him straight up. I say, look, for you to really manage this well, right? For you to get out of this hole, your wife needs to be on board. It's a partnership. A marriage is a partnership. You need to work on this together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it depends on the situation.
So you become a marriage counselor also, lah.
I don't know how many hats I put on, man. Alhamdulillah, I saved 2 marriages.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one, alhamdulillah, you know.
You can share the stories for that. Would that be beneficial?
I think it's very common, maybe for this situation also that you mentioned, the husband keep from the wife that he has debts, lah, right?
Yeah, could be that. Could be improper planning, or the husband may be okay. For one case, the husband was, I guess he was overconfident that he could take on the entire family's expenses. So basically, they bought the house. The wife told the husband, at some point, the wife told the husband, like, look, I don't wanna work anymore. Yeah. Then the husband said, okay, stop working. So, fine, I can do this. After that, he really struggled. And then start taking loans, that kind of thing.
Okay, so that's how the loan came about.
Yeah. Then the wife thought like everything's fine. Yeah. Then when we sat down, then the wife's like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah,
this?
come on,
said,
guys,
okay,
don't be so ego. Sometimes you need to share with your wife,
Yeah. So I tell her, look, there is no way forward with blame finding.
Yeah.
What's important is we recognize what are the facts. How do we manage it together? Yeah. So yeah lah. Of course, sometimes emotions get tense lah, right? So yeah lah. Like I said,
Have you ever been in the situation where you were discussing about that, and then maybe one of them is like crying?
I knew he was coming up with this question.
And how do you react to that?
I guess there's a lot of empathy that comes with it also lah. Yeah. So sometimes, I don't know, man. I have to be put in the situation, then I will know how to react. Like I see, like, okay, this fella's character is how. Yeah. So there's some level of profiling also.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Do you like ask them to like take 5 or do you like step away for a while?
if the situation calls for it, then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Or
sometimes
do you like give a hug to the wife?
wow, I have a wife to answer to also.
That one little viral for the wrong reasons, bro.
So yeah, I think it depends on the situation. So there's a lot of, so you see these kind of things, right? When other real estate agents, because I have like friends in other agencies and all, they ask me how to handle these kind of cases. So some things are on the fly, you know, like you really like you react to the situation itself, and don't shy away. My advice will be don't shy away from these kind of cases. Yeah, I mean, if your intention is really to help families along, then you shouldn't shy away from these cases. Yeah, of course, if your intention is to just make a quick then this is a hindrance for you lah, I guess. Yeah. So, like I say, niat berniaga tentukan cara.
All right. I think we call it a day for part 2. In part 3, maybe we can discuss more about how you actually run your real estate business from New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Part 2 feels so fast, so quick.
That's why. Very interesting story. That's why.
I might have questions, but never mind. Let's
save it for part 3.
Yeah, let's go to part 3, guys. See you in the next one.
All right.
Bye bye.